Did you know that the light of the gods wasn't just a metaphor for perfection? Long before electricity, science, or even Olympus, the true origin of divine light was guarded as a controversial secret, one capable of changing everything you've ever heard about creation and power. What if I told you that, contrary to popular belief, this light doesn't belong to the gods themselves, but comes from an even more ancient entity, invisible, unquestionable, and practically forgotten by most? While many are content with superficial versions of the myth, few dare to face the paradoxical truth. Olympus would be nothing without Aether, the heaven above the heavens. Discover now how this mysterious element, banished from the altars and ignored in heroic legends, built the stage for all divinity and perhaps the very fate of the universe. Ready to question everything you've ever believed? In the beginning, before the thunder of the Olympians or the unshakable strength of the Titans, Aether already existed, hovering like the essence of the purest sky. Its origin brings neither crowns nor armor, but a subtle presence where it itself is the oxygen of the gods, unattainable to mortals. While the common people breathed the dense air of the earth, the gods blew Aether, an ethereal breeze that only those at the summit of Olympus could feel. He was born to fill this divine void, as a reminder that even in the cosmos, there is exclusivity. It almost seems as if he were created to be that celestial secret no one can ever quite explain. Aether carries a mystical pedigree, son of Erebus, who is like the master of absolute darkness, and Nyx, the night that lulls the silence before the first ray of light. A couple that shows how sometimes the combination of extremes can bring something completely new to the world. They themselves were children of chaos, a kind of original. Nothing, yet at the same time the potential for everything. The emergence of Aether symbolized that magical moment when purity separates from chaos, ready to give personality to the sky. As a beloved son of the beginnings, he was confirmation that even night and darkness can create something enlightened. Among his siblings, names like Hemera, the day, Moros, fate, Hypnos, sleep, and Thanatos, death, make up an unconventional family, full of contrasts that make existence even more interesting. Together, they not only inhabited the universe, they gave shape, limits, and even humor to what we know as life and death. In this group, Aether was the one who floated above everyone, literally, always present where the gods most needed a breath of fresh air. But there's still much more to explore about how this essence went beyond its own birth, infecting everything around it with its touch. At the dawn of time, according to the Orphic and Hesiodic poems, all was chaos, a deep, formless void, devoid of direction or purpose. From this primordial void emerged Nyx, the personification of night, mysterious and shrouded in silence, allying herself with Erebus, the absolute darkness. From this intense encounter, Aether and Hemera would be born, marking the beginning of a journey where time finally begins to take shape and make sense. The universe, until then suspended in nothingness, sees the first traces of contrast between light and darkness, between pause and movement. With the arrival of Aether, something essential changes in the fabric of the cosmos. It represents the penetration of the higher light, that subtle, almost divine clarity that precedes all else. It is not simply the ordinary day we know, but a transcendental light, capable of piercing even the veils of the densest night. With each cycle, Aether ensures the passage between Nyx and Hemera, tracing the threshold that separates the mystery of the night from the brightness of the new day. It is the beginning of order, a divider that transforms chaos into beauty. It is in this perpetual and harmonious cycle that the gears of the world begin to turn, allowing the emergence of everything that would one day populate the myths and stories of mankind. Aether's role, ultimately, is to ensure that there is always room for the extraordinary to happen between the dark and the light. And so, It becomes the invisible backdrop against which mythology begins to design its gods, monsters, and great epics. Aether's greatest feat was to promote the separation of light and darkness in the primordial universe. Alongside her sister Hemera, Aether gently dispelled the night of Nyx, allowing the arrival of day and bringing forth the radiant celestial light. This alternation was fundamental to cosmic balance, as it transformed the monotony of chaos into cycles of renewal, with each dawn symbolizing a silent victory of light over darkness. Aether also assumed the role of sustainer of the gods, positioning itself above the earthly sky, Uranus, like a vast dome reserved only for divine beings. Unlike the air mortals breathe, Aether was the pure breath that circulated only in the heights, serving as an invisible stage for the actions and decisions of the pantheon. Its presence created this exclusive space, where the commonplace has no place and only the gods feel the freedom of the primordial wind blowing. Ultimately, Aether's greatest challenge is to maintain the eternal cycle between light and darkness, divine and mortal, never allowing himself to rest. His actions are cosmic. He wields no weapons, but he spins the fate of the universe as it exists, connecting the immortals to their source of pure energy. His essence sustains the balance of celestial order, ensuring that chaos never returns to center stage. He is the very definition of harmony in constant motion. Hemera, her sister, is Aether's indispensable partner in the cosmic choreography of alternating day and night. Together, they keep the world in perpetual motion. While Hemera brings the day, Aether is the celestial light that accompanies her, forming an inseparable duo that ensures the ever-renewing cycle of time. Their partnership is more than a blood bond. It is the very engine of universal order. Nyx, Aether's mother, represents her absolute opposite, the deep night, the silence and mystery that always precedes the arrival of light. In mythological dynamics, Nyx and Aether never coexist. When one arrives, the other withdraws, as if respecting a sacred pact of passage. This succession without direct confrontation reinforces that their relationships are not based on rivalry, but on the harmonious alternation of opposites. As for the Olympian gods, Aether does not coexist with them in a personalized manner, but his substance envelops all of Olympus, serving as a barrier and a sign of distinction between the world of the immortals and that of mortals. His relationships are cosmological, not affective. He does not foster alliances or intrigues like so many other gods, but establishes fundamental conditions for divine existence and majesty. Ultimately, Aether is the silent and essential link between all that is earthly and all that is beyond. Unlike Olympian gods and heroes, Aether remains virtually immutable over time. As a primordial deity, he undergoes no metamorphoses, falls, or ascensions. His nature is stable, always representing the superior light, incorruptible and eternal. The essence of Aether is precisely this permanence beyond the cycle of ordinary transformations, ensuring that the celestial order never falls apart. Over the centuries, Aether gained new prominence in philosophy, especially among Stoics and Neoplatonists. It ceased to be merely a mythological figure and became the quintessence, the so-called fifth element, superior and pure, distinct from fire, air, earth, and water. In this context, Aether was seen as the matter that makes up the stars, a symbol of perfection and the divine, giving rise to new interpretations of the nature of the cosmos. Thus, Aether permeates history as a concept that transcends mythology itself, gaining relevance in philosophical and scientific thought. It always remains at the forefront of the symbolic universe, but assumes different roles as time progresses. Its constancy and elevation make it a landmark both in mythical creation and in speculation about the eternal and incorruptible. The presence of Aether provided the orderly division of the cosmos. The upper heaven, filled with its radiant essence, is separated from the starry sky of Uranus, the air of mortals, Atmos, the earth, and the underworld of Tartarus. This cosmic hierarchy consolidated the structure of the universe in Greek tradition, ensuring that each part had its defined function and place. Ether represents the principle that organizes and delimits all that exists, preventing a return to primordial chaos. Although Ether has no temples or formal worship, her importance is perpetuated in Greek literature, particularly in Orphic poems, hymns, and cosmological texts. Her figure is invoked whenever the order, purity, or divine substance of the cosmos is discussed, becoming a constant presence in the Greek imagination. Her legacy is less about heroic deeds and more about her fundamental role in maintaining universal harmony. In philosophy, the concept of ether evolved and profoundly influenced various schools of thought, such as Greek natural philosophy, medieval alchemy, and even classical scientific theories. Once understood as the quintessence, Aether became a symbol of perfection and incorruptibility, remaining relevant until the dawn of modern science. Its legacy is that of an idea that spans eras, always linked to what is highest and purest in the universe. So, what did you think of this revelation about the true source of the god's light? Aether's story shows that even Olympus holds mysteries far deeper than we imagine, and our saga is just beginning. Tell me in the comments, were you already aware of this hidden side of Greek mythology, or were you surprised by it all? I'd love to hear your thoughts and hear if you're enjoying the journey. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to stay up to date on each new episode of this fascinating universe. That way, you won't miss a thing and will continue learning about the hidden forces behind the legends.